Hey, what is up, guys? Bitcoin and gold have some major differences and also have many similarities. Both of them require energy process to be mined. Both of them can be used as an alternative to US dollar, and both of them have similarities in price movement. In this video, I will compare gold to Bitcoin, and we will see what would happen if Bitcoin would follow gold's price movement. This video was brought to you by bestchange.com. Bestchange is a very convenient service to exchange e-currencies. They monitor online exchanges with hundreds of exchanges to choose from. They check every exchanges before including it into the list. So on, you can find only trustworthy exchanges with a high reputation. They support large variety of different electronic currencies, online banking, money transfers, and cash. You can find the link to the bestexchange.com in the description box below. Bitcoin and gold are both widely regarded as having value, but in what sense? And how can two be compared? This is an important question which goes back to fundamentals of money and development of assets which can be traded or used to purchase goods or store value. Money may be defined as means of exchange, as an intermediary between buyers and sellers which has determined value. This usually takes the form of banknotes or coins and increasingly digital money. But this has not always been the case. For thousands of years, precious metals such as gold were regarded as having monetary value and were widely used as money. Bitcoin, which only appeared on the market in 2009, is now a newcomer and rapidly filling the place that once was occupied by precious metals. In fact, Bitcoin, which reached an all-time high nearly $20,000 in last December, is now regarded by many as the new digital gold, as well as store of value and sound money. But how does Bitcoin compare to gold? Gold is precious metal that have been used in jewelries, coins, and other art for thousands of years. It is regarded as valuable for several reasons. First of all, gold is extremely rare. There are only about 190,000 tons of gold have been mined, with 50% of being consumed in jewelry industries, 40% in investments, and 10% in other industries. According to the basic law of supply and demand, if something is high in demand and low in supply, its value will be quite high. As demand increases, the price of gold increases. As demand goes down, the price will go down as well. Three main factors, rarity, durability, and beauty, gives gold an enduring value which few other items can be compared with. While land also have enduring value, it cannot be moved or exchanged without a representation ownership in the form of verbal or written agreement. Gold can be owned or exchanged by simply possessing the physical gold and exchanging it from hand to hand. Bitcoin, in contrast, does not have any physical form or shape, and it cannot be composed of any physical elements. This leads to the common accusation that Bitcoin has no essence, inherent or intrinsic value. Gold can be touched, carried, moved, or shaped, whereas Bitcoin exists in digital form. In that sense, it seems intangible. Therefore, the simplistic argument could be made that Bitcoin has no intrinsic value. However, we may go back to the question what value actually is and how the price are determined. As mentioned earlier, the price is determined by law of supply and demand. The price of any commodity rises or falls by the proportion of numbers of buyers and sellers. This depends, of course, on the supply of the commodity. The amount of gold in the world is extremely limited, as there are a number of bitcoins. Bitcoin is created by anonymous creator Satoshi Nakamoto. He has maximum supply of 21 million bitcoins. That is total number of bitcoins which can ever be created. In contrast, the total available supply of gold on Earth is still unknown, and gold may be in the future extracted from asteroids or other sources. Potentially, therefore, the supply of gold could be always increased, although it will likely remain rare for a long period of time. Another factor is Bitcoin is fungible, very portable, and divisible. One Bitcoin, for example, can be broken down into 100 million parts. It can be transmitted, received, and used to purchase any goods whatsoever, anywhere on the planet. It can be traded for any other cryptocurrencies, and it can be exchanged for its equivalent value in fiat currencies. Gold also can be bought, sold, or traded, but with greater difficulty. Gold is a metal and therefore it's heavy. A bar of gold cannot be easily broken down into more manageable parts, although golden coins can be used to trade for fiat currencies or goods. Still, however, both gold and Bitcoin are not widely accepted as a method of payment worldwide, so both must usually be converted to government-backed currencies before making a purchase. With gold, the number of vendors accepting it as a method of payment is not set to increase. With Bitcoin, however, the number of vendors accepting this currency is likely to increase over time, making it Bitcoin a much more accessible and more fungible method of payment. In terms of intrinsic value, more specifically, the economist David Ricardo argued that the value of the commodity depends on relative quantity of labor which is necessary for its production. According to this argument, both Bitcoin and gold can be said that have intrinsic value because both of them are created or discovered using a great quantity of energy or labor. Both Bitcoin and gold can be described as high volatile commodities or assets, and both are likely to have enduring value in the decades to come. Bitcoin, however, has significant advantage over gold: its fungibility, predetermined supply, and increasing availability as a payment option. Its utility and value, furthermore, they're likely to increase over time as Bitcoin adoption continues to grow, mining difficulty continues to increase, and demand to rise. And Bitcoin adoption will no doubt accelerate with the great institutional adoption. Bitcoin is incredibly volatile at present, is likely to continue to rise in price relatively to gold, and represents a significant technology advancement over precious metals and other physical commodities. There is major differences between gold and Bitcoin, such as gold is tangible and Bitcoin is digital. However, there are also many similarities. Both can act as money and store of value. Both are needed to consume energy in order to be mined, and the price of both is determined by supply and demand. Since this is true, why not to compare the price of Bitcoin to the price of gold? When I was making a video about gold, it was not hard to determine that the price of Bitcoin resembles the price of gold. Let's look at this chart. It represents gold price movement from 1975 all the way to the current date. In 1980s, gold was around $650 per ounce. Then, few years later, it dropped to $250 range. That would be around 60% decline. If we put Bitcoin price movement next to the gold's price movement, we can see a very high correlation in price, even though the time frame of gold is much longer than the time frame of Bitcoin. Exactly 1 year ago, Bitcoin was at all-time high of $19,000. Then slowly descended and dropped all the way to the current price of $4,000. That would be 78% decline. It does make sense that Bitcoin is more volatile than gold, because it's a new emerging technology. Every time something new comes out to the market, it becomes very volatile. It experiences extreme lows and extreme highs. In 2013, gold reached its new all-time high of $1,900 per ounce. That would be almost 3 times more than what we have seen in 1980s. So what if Bitcoin would follow the same pattern as gold? If that would be so, Bitcoin could reach $60,000, which is 3x from its all-time high. In fact, I do not see why it cannot happen. World becomes more digital, new generation embrace technology and cryptocurrencies at much faster rate than older generations. The trust between central government and people continues to decline. I would not be surprised if people would start moving away from central currencies such as US dollar and more towards more decentralized money such as Bitcoin. Then it could easily reach $60,000 and even surpass this price target. So we came to the end. Let me know what you guys think about Bitcoin following the patterns of gold. Do you think this is realistic? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if you're new to this channel, do not forget to subscribe for more animated videos about cryptocurrency and financial market. Other than that, thank you for watching. See you next video.